Very silly.
It was good having them in studio. Joining me now, radio host Tony Katz and former Biden surrogate Kevin Wallen. Gentlemen, I'll get y'all reaction to that focus group that we had, but I want to get y'all's reaction on this Nevada race. Tony, it looks like the Dems just won another one. I'm just curious how they were able to win that governor's seat and not win the Senate seat. What's going wrong?
And you see this in a couple of places, and people are going to scratch their heads, and rightfully so. There is a conversation about how do Democrats do it, and certainly people look at, well, why does it take so long to count a vote, like embarrassingly long in Maricopa County in Arizona? But do they have that better ground game, as people have discussed? I think that's a valuable conversation. There's this whole conversation about candidate equality, which goes to both sides of the aisle, and yet some people who clearly are not quality got elected. Republicans are going to do a lot of staring at this, but there is also a lot of good news that we can get into, specifically when we talk about some of those smaller races, like school board races, where conservatives won across the country. There are things to celebrate. You just got to get better at, doing the job on the ground.
That's right. Kevin, is this a moment of celebration for the Dems? 75% of Americans say that we're heading down the wrong path. Yet y'all won a lot of seats as well. So are you guys celebrating, or there's still some soul searching for the party at large? I know not from the president. He says nothing's really going to change on his part. But the consultants, the people that are on the ground.
Yeah, Lawrence, certainly it was a good night for Democrats on a whole. I think you're going to see that we netted at least one governor's mansion, if not two. Obviously keeping the Senate with the call tonight, with the potential of adding to our ranks with Senator Warnock in December. So certainly a good night, beat all expectations on the ground. And Tony makes a lot of good points. It is about a ground game. I think you saw Democrats really step up their game from 2020, just two years ago, where we didn't have much of a ground game because of COVID. And to Tony's point as well, it's all about candidate quality. I think that's why you saw so many ticket splitters. And I think that's actually a good thing for this country, because it means that Americans are looking at the quality of the candidate and not just the label next to their name. I think that's a good night for democracy and for this country going forward.
Real quickly, Tony, what's the case?
I think the case is that some people look at quality candidate and some people look at the letter after the name. I think that's obvious and clear for a couple of races, like, for example, Pennsylvania. But Republicans are going to have to figure out this leadership conversation, and Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell and Ronna McDaniel have to know they're in the hot seat, and anybody who believes otherwise is out of their mind.
Go talk to your people. Talk to the voters. It's that simple. Thanks, gentlemen. Coming up.
Amen.